So I came across a very interesting article earlier today. Pardon me if you can hear the rain, by the way. A Salon article, and no, I haven't completely lost my mind. It's very interesting just for all the wrong reasons. But before I get into that, I want to try and explain something and not just bash the author for being completely idiotic. I mean, it's a Salon article, that kind of goes without saying. When it comes to the left, I think it's helpful to understand their mindset because if you read them without understanding their perspective, you will think they're completely insane. Now, that being said, if you try and understand their perspective, you're still going to think they're completely insane because it is in no way connected to objective reality. The left does not care for facts at all, and I know that's a sort of meme at this point, but it's true, they literally do not care for objective reality. If you try and read their grievances even, you'll be left thinking most of these grievances aren't even real, so your solutions are redundant at best and will create new problems where there weren't any at worst. I mean, you can see this with America's current administration. So when you try to market this, failure is inevitable. The only way these people could retain power is through some authoritarian regime reigning over a civilization of backwards, poverty-stricken peasantry. And so I want to go through this article because it is a great illustration of why this party is doomed to fail. It is a glorious mess of contradictions, blunders, and the miserably exaggerated ramblings of someone who does not know the first thing about political reality or economics in any capacity whatsoever. Now, I'm not going to go through all of it, mind you. It will cut into my rigorous new hobby of tasting paint thinner. First off, this woman starts by complaining about her political representative not keeping her safe from Justice Alito. Whilst living in Illinois, a state Biden won by 17 points, which naturally makes it a hotbed of right-wing Christian extremism. So we're off to a great start here, aren't we? Wannabe tyrants represent about a quarter to a third of the population. Actually, according to previous videos that I have done, the progressive lefties represent only about 15%, so it's less than that. But then again, you're a Salon writer. I don't expect you to be honest or factual, so do go on. But you wouldn't know it by the behavior of the Democratic Party. Is this before or after they bitch about everything and wanting to tear down every institution like a tempestuous fucking child when they don't get their way? Cowering, dithering Dems accept the most ludicrous Fox News framing of every issue from inflation to policing to abortion. Do you know why that is the case? Because no one cares what you have to say. The only thing lower than MSNBC or CNN's ratings are Biden's own fucking approval numbers. Fox News, to their credit at least, talk about things that actually bother the citizenry, while you morons talk about January 6th, which no one gives a fuck about. In response to rapid authoritarianism, which exists where in the GOP? They hem and haw, shuffle policy papers, babble about bipartisanship, and attempt to negotiate with GOP grifters who call them pedophiles. That's because you are. And then these same Democrats turn around and blame a handful of progressives, because their policies are shite, when it's conservatives from both parties who block and shred every scrap of legislation that might make all our lives a little less apocalyptic. And the administration wonders why Biden's approval numbers are tanking. I simply adore how this is framed. It is so comically clown show bad. You gotta laugh. Your party comes in, undoes everything the previous administration did, inducing a whole load of problems in doing so, tanks its approval with self-inflicted wounds, and then complains it's somebody else's fault for not helping you solve all the problems that you fucking created to begin with. Fuck off. It's almost as if they view legislation like assembling a car. Like, oh, we've got the gearbox, the chassis, the brakes, the engine, the tires. Why isn't it moving? Oh, it's because you gut petrol production, you fucking morons. Try an electric vehicle. Oh, wait, you cut down coal production as well, which powers the charging station for your green vehicles, you faux hippie git. Oh, it's a wonder why the approval ratings are so low. No, I think they know why, they just don't give a fuck. I am no politician, thank God for that, and I'm certainly not one of those high-paid Democratic consultants who keep pushing talking points from 1991. I am, however, a writer, and a very bad one at that, and I understand the power of communication. You should try communicating the truth, you dim-witted weasel. Why hasn't the Democratic Party crafted a clear narrative that its own voters can understand? Do you see what I mean by the inevitable failure? Here is a story that all Democrats could tell right now. Oh, this is going to be good. Today's GOP is engaged in a giant smash and grab. Yes, unlike the people of San Francisco who do that on a regular fucking basis. A grand looting, in case in point, a coordinated, decades-long, multi-pronged effort to bring back the good old days of 1850. Yes, to a time where no one was alive to experience that. Everything they do falls under this umbrella. Why not talk about the unholy alliance of religious extremists and blood-sucking billionaires intent on subverting the will of the voters? Because of this alliance, religious extremists take a hammer to our civil rights, ban books, work to dismantle public schools, who are all shite, vomit racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic garbage, and insist on genital inspections and forced birth bollocks, while the billionaires smash regulations to drive up inflation, you clearly don't fucking know the first thing about economics, loot institutions and rob their own employees, abuse workers, fund the spread of conspiracy theories, I think the media does that one, buy up all available housing, BlackRock, avoid taxes, and pack the course with political hacks who rule that all of this is just fine, democracy be damned. Okay, none of that is true. According to an article they linked, said Lane is a Christian nation extremist who believes the Bible should be a primary textbook in America's public schools, that any politician who disagrees should be voted out. Yes, that is quite a threat to democracy there. Now they're hounding school boards to destroy public education. It's because you were trying to indoctrinate children, you fucking weirdos. Stuffing their creepy faces into the private lives of families, which you never do, and threatening state officials so they can steal every future election, all while using Nazi and slaver logic to turn anyone with a uterus into a broodmare for the state. What the fuck is wrong with you? None of this is happening in the real world. This is hyperbolic bullshit. Maybe the Democrats might want to talk about that. Oh, please do. Please try, because this will decimate your party into an early grave. And I hope it does, because you people are mentally unstable. And I don't mean that hyperbolically, mind you. You people need professional psychiatric care. This outrageously fucking unhinged narrative is not the real world. This is the demented ramblings of someone deeply indoctrinated in a fictional story that is completely disconnected from the lives of real people. Here is another story Dems could tell, that the right wing tells lies, projects its own misdeeds onto others, and then lies again. Yes, we call this the Biden public policy right now, considering he fucking blames Putin for everything that is wrong with his bullshit administration. Take the issue of abortion. Republicans accuse Democrats of being baby killers and it should be brag, can you fucking read your own writing? Brag about being pro-life when the overwhelming majority of them have done nothing to help struggling parents and families, which also has fucking nothing to do with abortion, mind you. They don't support universal or any kind of health care, or parental leave, tax credits, affordable childcare, food stamps, free school lunches, universal preschool, or gun safety. Republican lawmakers screamed about the formula shortage and then voted against the bill that would help address it. Yeah, that's because like 95% of it was fucking administrative costs and virtually nothing was going to actually address the bloody problem. Their words mean nothing because we can see what they do. Their actions reveal they don't care about the born, let alone the unborn. And do you remember how these people shut down the economy and force you to stay in your own home, take a dodgy shot, and then cull domestic energy production, and then outsource it to despotic regimes while they scream about protecting democracy, while they continue to send billions overseas to the most corrupt country in all of bloody Europe, prolonging a war that they instigated in the fucking first place, who they blame for the inflation and energy problems, even though that happened the second they set foot in office, and then proceeded to spend trillions, which caused the worst inflation crisis in 40 fucking years, and now these same idiots are giving the Republicans shit for not doing enough to help families by doing more of the very same bloody thing that introduced the fucking hardship in the first place. I'm not even gonna bother with the rest of this, you won't be surprised, so I'll just say this. Thank God for President Trump, because the only apparatus of the United States right now that seems to have any semblance of sanity is the Supreme Court, which was stacked with conservative judges. I love that the sanest part of the United States right now that keeps it in harmony are the unelected people not subjected to the whims of the idiotic masses. God bless the conservatives. May you continue to cause the shrieking for decades to come. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need the pain thinner. I will see you all next time.